Hi everyone, Morten Åstad here. Welcome to my channel. This is a thread response and a somewhat quick one because I was actually about to go to bed. I know it's only 9 o'clock in the evening. Well, I have to get up really early tomorrow and go back up to Helgelandsmoen. But just before I was about to turn in, I saw that our friend Christian over at Front to Back Vinyl, is what he's calling his channel now, had a thread idea, and I've got to step up for Christian. And the idea was three artists or bands or artists who's been in a band and then are artists, etc. Three artists slash bands and 3 decades. So show one album from 3 decades that you want to showcase from an artist, and you'll have to show 9 albums. So let's get started with that. So I guess I actually will start with. Is this the youngest band? Well, I'm a little bit unsure now, but we'll start with the 2000s. So Blur, they've been around for a while, and I know I like them, and they had a member, and I guess they still do, Damon Albarn. So this is about Damon Albarn and not necessarily about Blur. And in the time with Blur, we got some fantastic music, I thought, and then he did this side project, which, I liked, but, when is the next Blur album coming out? And then they released the next album, and it didn't sit right with me, and I don't think it sat right with a lot of other people. It did not, it did not include all the band members of Blur, because Coxon left after recording one song, a song that I think a lot of people would argue was the best song on the album. So I didn't listen to Think Tank that much back then. It was a beautiful CD, by the way. It was mine was a red felt book kind of thing, and this is of course a much later record that I acquired when I started collecting Blur on vinyl. But since then, I must admit, I've gone back and I listened to Think Tank in a different light. Hearing how Damon developed as an artist outside of Blur with Gorillaz, but then again with other artists like The Good, The Bad, and of course a couple of times as a solo artist. So this is 2003, I think it was. So this is the decade to the 2000s and Damon in Blur. Then he followed this up with another Gorillaz album and some other projects, and then again we come to the 2010s with 2010's Plastic Beach. I'm not 100% sure which of the 3 first albums is my actual favorites. I mean, the first one really has some of those songs that you do remember, and the second one, another brilliant. But I feel I tend to sort of come back to Plastic Beach. So Damon with Gorillaz in the 2010s. Then we got some more from Damon in various projects. We got another Blur album, and his first solo album, and then returned to Gorillaz. We even got a second The Good, The Bad, and at some stage. But what I want to show you is an album I don't see or hear many people talk that much about. It's a soundscape, I guess. I think he had meant it as a sort of a symphonic record, and it kind of developed into another thing. Because Damon, still, of course, a guy from Britain, but Damon also lives on Iceland, and this record is very much a record that he recorded there, and sort of is an homage to that, I suppose. This is The Nearer the Fountain, More Pure the Stream Flows, Damon Albarn, 2021. And this was a very special record for me, because I was very happy I managed to get this version of it. And I would almost argue that, you know, the physical copy of this is half the joy of this record. Not listened to it nearly enough, so, you know, thanks to Christian, this will hopefully be a reminder that I should do so. So that was the first of 3 artists / bands from 3 decades, Damon Albarn. So for the second band or artist, I had some ideas, and I realized suddenly, well, hey, this is turning into a sausage fest. We should have a female artist. So my artist for the next 3 decades is Carrie Brownstein. Carrie Brownstein, of course, from Sleater-Kinney. My discovery of Carrie Brownstein was through the TV show and my love of the city and the couple of friends I have from Portland. So I saw that she was all of a sudden an actress in Portlandia with Fred Armisen. I don't think I can claim to have known of Sleater-Kinney before that. So I went straight out and I bought a box set. One of the first really expensive purchases I got when I was starting to buy vinyl again. I'm not going to show that box set, but I'm going to show from what was this, 2005, what was supposed to have been Sleater-Kinney's final album. They broke up after this. This is The Woods. Not necessarily my favorite Sleater-Kinney album, but in order to try and get these records to be lined up back-to-back decades and not have, you know, a missing decade, I went with this excellent, critically acclaimed final album from Sleater-Kinney, which, you know, I've listened to quite a bit, this and my favorite, and I just want to show you again this great record. And they all came in this wonderful colored vinyl, and it's all on Sub Pop. So this one is from that box set. Then she did various projects, started acting, and this is my actual first record with Carrie Brownstein. This is a record by a band that sort of an indie, you know, Pacific Northwest supergroup, I suppose. And does include one of the members from Sleater. Yeah, I think the drummer from Sleater-Kinney, she's here, isn't she? Yeah, Janet Weiss is here, and it's Mary Timoney, Carrie Brownstein, Rebecca Cole on keyboard and piano, and Janet Weiss, and the band is Wild Flag. This is a kick-ass, wonderful album. Unfortunately, or fortunately perhaps, you know, it's sometimes hard to say. They only made this one record because I think Carrie and Janet, you know, they started agreeing they should make music together again, along with what's her name again? Along with Corinne Tucker, of course, and you know, get Sleater-Kinney back up to speed. So I would have normally, of course, shown their reunion album, but that would have been the same decade as Wild Flag, so that doesn't work. So instead, I am going to show you their latest album. Now, Weiss didn't like the musical direction that Sleater-Kinney was taking, so after 2, was it, and a live album, she quit the band. So when the third album came out, they were reduced to a duo, and this is their 4th album since reuniting. And as you can see, they are now just 2 members. So this is Corinne and Carrie in, what was this one called again? Oh. Yeah, this is Little Rope. A very, very fine album. And yeah, Carrie, oh come on, Brownstein is a bit of a hero of mine. I loved all the fun she and Fred got up to in Portlandia, and that was the 2010s, and the 2020s. For the next artist, we are moving down, way down south, and to the 1970s, and one of my musical heroes. No, it's not Neil Finn, it's Tim Finn. Tim Finn, of course, from Split Enz and New Zealand. And yeah, I wanted to show, I guess, a record where Split Enz still retained some of that weird prog rock variety madness of their first 2 albums. Arguably, is it 2 first albums, you know, European versus Australian, New Zealand, etc., etc. All that's so confusing. But also where the band, as far as band members go, sort of has become what it would be when it really broke through for a while. And that's this one, Dysrhythmia from 1977. What is special about this is this record still retains Tim as the main songwriter of the band, and but little brother Neil has joined after some members quit, and but Neil doesn't contribute to the songwriting really here. So this is still a very much a Tim Finn Split Enz, which is a different creature than the next record. We get the big hit I See Red, and Neil's songwriting really progressing. And my favorite track on this one, well, Charlie is a fun track, but I guess it's My Mistake. Very Neil Finn song. Neil Finn, wonderful artist. So that was the 70s from Neil Finn. Then, after some success with Split Enz, and maybe feeling that he has songs that doesn't belong there, and he wants to break out and get some focus on him, and maybe being a little bit worried about Neil's songwriting being so catchy, he makes his first solo album, which is a big success, which then leads to him leaving Split Enz, and that's Escapade. A wonderful, quite 80s, but it's still Tim Finn this, and it's still absolutely his sound and his way of making songs, and he's still a New Zealand Australian from that side of the world. So my favorite track, well, it's probably the biggest hit as well, Fraction Too Much Friction. Tim, after this, his solo stuff sells less and less. he rejoined Split Enz for their farewell tour after that one. Yeah, well, before that he did record with Split Enz, but his songwriting contribution gets smaller, and like I said, he leaves, and Split Enz makes one final album with Neil at the helm, and then he of course starts Crowded House. And Tim tries some acting and some other stuff, dates a Hollywood movie star, etc., etc. Then he suppose Neil's songwriting stagnates a bit, and they decide to get together and try and record something together, which, if I remember correctly, the record company has some reservations about, and they, I think, sort of pressure them to record a Crowded House album as with Tim as the fourth member, which is Woodface. And it's a great album, and although it does little to nothing in the US, maybe some of the lyrics may explain that. But in the subsequent tour, it's clear that Neil and Tim, being in their egos, I would suppose, don't really match, so he quits in the middle of the tour, and Crowded House recruits Mark Hart as a member, and Tim continues a solo career, which, I guess we up here in Europe don't hear that much about. I do, but that's because of I keep up with him. But he does get back with Little Brother again, but not for Crowded House, but for Disson. So we moved from the 70s to the 80s, and now we're in the 90s, and they record sort of the album that Woodface maybe should have been. This is Finn, by the Finn Brothers, or just Finn. They later record another album together called The Finn Brothers, which is another excellent, wonderful album, which I don't have on vinyl, so that's kind of why and also, the decade thing. So this came out in 1995. I think I remember I bought my CD of this in South Africa, just outside of Pretoria. But this one came out in 2022. Excellent reissue with was there some extra material on this? So this is the record I most needed at the time I most needed to hear it, says Radiohead's Ed O'Brien. That's him, right? So 2 LP deluxe reissue of the 1995 Finn album. It had an additional 10-track collection of demos featuring previously unreleased song and other stuff. So I'll just show you the hype sticker there if you're at all interested. So that was 3 artists over a period of 3 decades, back-to-back decades. I don't know if that was if it was a given or if we didn't need to do that, but that's the way I ended up doing it. And I hope you enjoyed that, but more importantly, I hope you will head over to Christian's channel. I will of course leave links and all that stuff for you to head on over to Christian's channel and give him, well, not only a sub if you haven't already done that, but of course make one of these yourself. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you would please click like, that helps my channel. If you want to subscribe, well, that makes me happy. Hope to see you guys very soon in another video, and I now need to go to bid. See what I did there? New Zealand. Never mind. Bye.